I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Erlenmeyer Indoor-Outdoor Semi-Flush. This is the 356015. It's also a hanging pendant version of this on chain. It's also sconces that go on the wall and a post light. Check them all out. They are quite excellent. Let's get into the height of the fixture itself. And that's going to be overall height from the bottom of the fixture to the actual ceiling is coming in at 16.3. Diameter on it is 12.1. So the canopy up on the ceiling that's going to go over your standard formed junction box is coming in at 4.6. It just goes over this. A quick way to show you some more information about that is to look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations, instructions, PDF. So open that up for me. So it's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how to put the glass on, put the bulb in, very simple piece. But it's also going to show you some good detailed drawings of the canopy and the bracket and how it goes over your 4-inch junction box. So check that out. Let's talk about glass really quick. Using Hubbardton Forge's very beautiful hand-blown glass. So these pieces of glass are very substantial. It's not the thin glass you're used to from other places. This is the real thing. Very thick on the bottom, hand-blown, crystal clear, diamond cut on the top. Really beautiful stuff. Let's talk about what you can use inside of this. Using a medium base socket. We all grew up with this kind of socket. It just takes a medium base bulb. You can get them everywhere basically at this point. If you want to stick with an A19 bulb, well actually if you want to go incandescent, you can still do that out in the world. And an A19 incandescent is what you can use in this. That's going to be because of the heat generated by a 100 watt bulb. So that's a lot of light, but I think you should actually just go to LED myself. That's what we do here. We don't use incandescents anymore because there's so many great LEDs out in the world. You could go for this little guy. This is that A19 I talked about. It's a standard size light bulb, and you can find this easily 60, 75 watt, even 100 watt equivalent, but there's enough room in this that you can do a lot of other things. So I wouldn't do this thing because it's just not going to look nice inside it, so put that off to the side. There's other things you can do like this, but even like this. So this is an Edison bulb, and an Edison bulb is kind of a copy of Thomas Edison's cool old-timey looking light bulb. It tapers up, medium top, medium base, has a little point on it, so it has that cool old-timey look. Looks pretty cool in here too. This is what we use in our showroom, in this fixture in our showroom. So, and I found this on Amazon, but I also found these at Home Depot, which means you could probably find them at Lowe's. You could probably find them at your local hardware store as well. If you don't really want to go through the expense and time of finding this kind of thing, and it wasn't expensive at all, you could just go for this. So this is just a standard phosphorus bulb that you can find pretty much everywhere. I can find these at my grocery store. I can't necessarily find them in my grocery store in this size. This is a bigger size than an A19. This is an A20. Here's your A19, here's your A20. So you see how it's bigger? And I can get a ton of light out of this. I know because it is around the same size as this, and this is a 100 watt equivalent bulb that I bought at Home Depot in a 4-pack. And it was very inexpensive. I thought it was a great deal. So I also have seen these at Walmart and Lowe's and those other hardware stores like Ace and True Value we talked about a second ago. I would probably go for one of these. I would probably go for a 100 watt equivalent, and you can always put this on a dimmer. A lot of you guys are going to use this inside too, so it's a totally dimmable fixture inside or outside. You might be using this on a covered porch, hanging out with your friends late into the evening. Then you'll be able to, if you do get the right bulb, you'll be able to dim it down to be like candlelight. So kind of remember, you can do some cool little tricks when you get LEDs. So when you do go out shopping for these, make sure you really zero in on the color temperature of the bulb. They're going to offer these to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's the yellow orange like a setting sun. They're going to offer these to you in something called daylight, which sounds like it should be a warm light, like sunlight, but it's not. That's that bluish white light. We talk about it in every video. Very important. That's going to be 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is warm white or soft white. That's the light that's coming down on me right here, right on my hands, and that's 3,000 Kelvin from these LEDs up above. Same kind of things that are up there. So my take would probably be, depending on where you're going to be using this, if you're going to be using it outside, just on a porch, and you're not going to dim it, these are easy to find pretty much everywhere you go. If you want to get more specialized and you might be using this on a covered porch or maybe inside, I would probably go for a 100 watt equivalent. I'd probably even go to Home Depot and pick these up. 100 watt equivalent, 3000 Kelvin, warm, white, dimmable LED bulb. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.